Hey loves, welcome back to Vitamin D TV. I know it's been like a few days since I posted. Turns out this posting every day thing is harder than I thought. Like it's hard to record on the days I have to work. But you know, it's okay because we're still gonna keep going at this posting every day thing and we're gonna get through this. So today I wanted to talk to you guys about the worst part about learning a language. And the reason I wanted to make this video is because, you know, anybody who's learning a language on their own, or even if you're in school, anybody who's learning a language, you're gonna run into this problem. You're gonna run into this problem, and you're gonna run into some other problems that you're gonna have in common with other language learners. But this one is like the main thing that all language learners have in common, no matter how you're learning necessarily. So I wanted to make this video because of that, so that you know that you're not the only person having this problem. It'll convince you and it'll motivate you to keep learning and keep going, because you know this is just part of the process. It's not life attacking you. It's not something that's just I only got the Spanish word. It's not insuperable. So, you know, just to get into it. The number one thing that is the hardest when it comes to learning a language, no matter what the language is, the hardest thing is the beginning. The very first time since you made up your mind that you're gonna learn that language, the process begins. And it's always the beginning of that process where you have the most problems, because one, you don't know what you're doing. Two, you've probably never learned a language before, and if you did, you never learned this specific language, so that's gonna come with its own problems. And you may or may not have access to like a support group. You may or may not have access to like people who are willing to help you, people who are willing to study and practice with you. So it's always the beginning that's the hardest. And I guess you can say that about a lot of things in life. Like, it's always the beginning, because first you gotta be willing to be horrible at something before you can be a master at it, before you can be really good at it. And it's no different with languages. So the reason why you want to continue going through the shitty beginning of learning a language is because you're going through a process to gain another skill. And this skill is going to go with you the rest of your life, okay? Like, as long as you keep using it. This skill is going to go with you for the rest of your life. So if you have to go through certain difficulties in the beginning, they're not going to still be those same difficulties by the time you can really speak in the language that you're learning. Like, for example, when I was learning Spanish, oh my gosh, I had no idea how many conjugations and forms of conjugations there were for the Spanish language, especially with English being my only language. When I was like growing up, I had no idea that you could say the same thing in so many different ways. Like, Spanish has so many conjugations. To this day, I confess I don't have it all figured out, but I am way further than I was when I started, when I was 14, 15 years old. So for me, my first challenge was getting these conjugations down. And that was like, I know that's a problem for many language learners. It's always the conjugations, the grammar. But one thing you can do to overcome those is like just YouTube. Like, when I was learning Spanish, YouTube was my best friend, because all of my favorite teachers were on YouTube. I didn't pay any money for these teachers because they were freely giving that value away on YouTube. So YouTube helped me to get a grasp on a lot of the grammar conjugations. Duolingo helped me to practice with these conjugations and put them into play and to use them and to speak with them. And when I was watching TV, I got to see these words and phrases and how they were conjugated, used live, talking to other people, and all of that, it worked out together. And it's the same thing with any language you pick. Learn how other people explain the grammar, learn how native speakers use the grammar, and apply it with Duolingo, apply it with writing, apply it wherever you can in your life, and then watch TV, watch movies, and see how people are using it, and see just how the language is spoken. It'll help you not one speak better, it'll also help you to listen and know what is going on, because conjugations really are important. But yeah, it's always the beginning that's the most difficult, not just for conjugations. You've never spoken you've never had a full conversation in this language that you're learning before, and this is a first for you. Like, that is really uncomfortable because a lot of people don't have that self-esteem. A lot of people hate getting uncomfortable. A lot of people just the thought of speaking to a native speaker and knowing that you can make a mistake, you feel like you're gonna die in front of the native speaker. Listen, none of that is gonna happen. The worst thing a native speaker can actually do to you when you're trying to speak their language, the worst thing they can do is laugh at you. Like, and you can walk away or however you want to deal with that situation, but you're not going to be physically harmed for practicing with a native speaker. Some of them are going to cooperate with you, some of them aren't, and you just got to be prepared for that. When I was working in the mall, some people would practice Spanish and Portuguese with me, some people would just switch right back to English, or some people would just, you know, they would want to practice their English with me, not just so, oh, she can't speak with me, you know. So it's always the beginning. It's the beginning, because the beginning, it's a lot of things that go along with it. You don't know what you're doing. The words are foreign. You have no idea how they're pronounced or how they're spoken, but all of those things you can overcome. Like all these difficulties that come with you in the beginning, you're gonna overcome them as long as you don't quit, as long as you keep going. Like, if I would have quit learning Spanish, I would have never learned Portuguese. My French would still be garbage. What other language? My Italian would be non-existent, and I don't even really speak it, but I got a grip on that thanks to Spanish. Like, there's so many things. So the best thing you can do is just keep your eye on the prize, keep your goals in front of you because you know why you're doing this, and just keep going. Like, you're not the only person struggling learning a language, so just link into that community of language learners, whether it be on Tumblr, whether it be here on YouTube, whether it be on Instagram. You got this. You got this, okay? Todo puede estar superado. All you gotta do is keep working and have faith. So I just want to talk to you guys about that. If you like this video, if you found it some type of valuable for you, like, comment, subscribe, and I will definitely be posting again tomorrow despite the difficulties. And I'll see you guys again soon.